This is Houston with Roofing Done Right at 100 Main Street in Taylorsville, doing a video inspection of the roof. So first thing I noticed was that this front porch area right here is what we call slat decking. And it'd be hard to kind of get in the video, but basically it's 1x6 boards that they used on top of the rafters to nail all this into. And if there's a leak in this front porch area, it's more than likely coming from that, or this is what we call a roof transition. Just anytime the slope changes pitch without a valley or a ridge. And you can see where it's kind of bowed up right here, so wind-driven rain could get in there. Ideally, there'd be ice and water shield all across this spot right here with the where the transition's at. And what's interesting is that the rest of the roof, this main portion and on the back, they put plywood down over top of the 1x6 boards when they replaced the roof. So I'm not sure exactly why they didn't do it on here. Maybe because there's no actual livable space underneath. It's just a porch, so they didn't think it to be as important. So they saved some money by not putting plywood down on top of this. But at least it's good that they did it on the rest of the roof. Ideally, we want to see some kick out flashing right here, where the flashing would actually go in between the corner boards and come out. So this corner board, how they come together right here at this junction. Now, this one on the front is sitting over top of the one on the side. Normally you do it the other way. The side would come all the way to the end and that one would butt up against it. That way you can slide that piece of flashing in there. And I'm guessing they didn't do kick out flashing because these are on the way that they're on. I mean, they did a good job flashing it regardless. It's just not exactly how I would want to do it. But that's the front part. And going up here, the shingles themselves look to be in decent enough shape. There is some movement on these, what makes me to believe that there's a potential for overdriven nails. If the nails went all the way through the shingle when they hit it with the nail gun, they're starting to slide a little bit, which is why you can see the bigger space. You can see it again kind of right here. These aren't quite lined up, so potentially the nails in these shingles right here were overdriven, and with time the shingles have just kind of slowly moved out of the way. The pipe boots are not quite dried out and cracking just yet, which is good. What we'd want to do is put a UV collar over that to preserve the life of that pipe boot. Box vents look to be in decent enough shape. Only other thing is that the silicone over these nail heads is starting to fade. Here's a better example of it. So when it wears out, it allows those nail heads to rust. And when the nail heads rust, water can find its way in. So that would be my general evaluation of it. Paint that HVAC stack. You can see that rust coming there. We want to paint that to prevent any further rust. Looks like the garage was done at a different time. It's a different shingle. It's actually a 30-year architectural versus the 25-year 3-tab. But overall, that's what I'm getting here. Again, the shingle itself is in decent enough shape. If there's a leak in the front, then that would either come down to replacing the front porch section so we could put the proper roof decking down on top of those 1x6s, and that would get it in a much better spot than it's in.